Look closely at your seedling trays right now. If your cucumber and watermelon sprouts are stretching like weak threads with yellowing leaves, you have already failed. You are literally murdering your future harvest with your own hands. You buy expensive seeds, dump them into cheap store-bought dirt, and drown them in tap water. Stop doing this immediately. Cucurbits are not weeds, they demand respect, and your current methods are a death sentence. Every single spring, millions of gardeners complain about seeds that never sprouted or seedlings that rotted at the base. You blame the seed sellers, but the brutal truth? The killer is holding the watering can. This is a harsh, uncompromising survival guide for your cucumbers, melons, and watermelons. I am going to tear down the myths you have been fed for years. Pay attention or prepare to eat tasteless plastic vegetables from the supermarket. Let's start with the biggest lie. Pre-soaking seeds in expensive chemical stimulants. You are wasting your money and burning the embryonic tissues. Throw that toxic garbage in the trash right now. Sellers of fertilizers want you dependent on their colorful bottles. But soaking watermelon and melon seeds in synthetic acid baths weakens their natural immunity. You are breeding weaklings that will die at the first sign of stress. Then comes the second fatal error. Planting them in heavy, pure store-bought potting mix. That black sludge is packed with uncomposted peat and pathogens. It suffocates roots the moment they emerge. You create a greenhouse effect by wrapping pots tightly in plastic wrap and leaving them on a sunny windowsill. Congratulations, you have just built a solar oven. You are literally boiling your seeds alive. When those seeds cook, fungal spores wake up. This is where black leg disease begins. It targets the stem at the soil line, turning it black and mushy. Your seedling falls over, dead. Stop treating cucumbers and watermelons like tomatoes. You cannot just rip them out of a communal tray and transplant them. Their root system. Let's talk biology. Watermelons and melons have a powerful taproot designed to dive deep into the earth for water. Cucumbers have a fibrous, shallow root system that spreads wide. If you pack the soil tightly around them, oxygen cannot reach the roots. Without oxygen, the roots cannot absorb nutrients no matter how much you feed them. When roots suffocate, the first symptom is yellowing cotyledon leaves. You panic, thinking they need fertilizer, so you dump more chemicals on them. You are throwing gasoline on a fire. Watermelon seeds have a notoriously thick, armor-like shell. In cold, wet soil, this shell acts as a coffin. The embryo rots before it can break through. You must outsmart nature. Here is the aggressive, uncompromising solution that actually works. First, the soil. Throw away pure potting mix. You need a substrate so light and airy that roots can literally breathe through it. Mix 50% high-quality neutral peat, 30% washed coconut coir, and 20% agro-perlite. This is the golden formula. It holds moisture without turning into a suffocating swamp. For cucumbers, melons, and watermelons, you must sow them in individual containers right from the start. Use pots no smaller than 500 milliliters. No picking, no transplanting, no root trauma. Now, the seeds. Forget the toxic chemical baths. If you want to wake up stubborn watermelon and melon seeds, use the shock method. It is free, natural, and ruthlessly effective. Place the seeds in a cotton cloth and dip them in hot water, exactly 50 degrees Celsius, for 20 minutes. This melts the protective essential oils and softens the armor-like shell immediately. Next, dip them in cold water for 2 minutes. This thermal shock violently wakes up the embryo. The seed realizes it is time to survive and grow. No expensive chemicals needed. For cucumbers, do not even bother soaking. Fresh cucumber seeds from a reliable source should go straight into the prepared soil. Any pre-sprouting on wet paper towels risks breaking their microscopic root tip. Pay attention to how you lay the seed. Never push a cucurbit seed vertically into the soil. You are forcing the seedling to fight gravity in the hardest way possible. Lay the seed completely flat, horizontally on the damp soil. This mirrors how seeds fall in nature. It allows the root to dive straight down and the stem to push straight up effortlessly. Cover the seed with exactly 1.5 centimeters of soil. No more, no less. If you plant it too shallow, the seedling will emerge with... If you plant it too deep, the seed exhausts all its energy trying to reach the surface and rots before it sees the sun. Precision is not optional. It is mandatory. Now the watering. Throw away your heavy watering cans. After placing the seeds, spray the top layer with warm water using a fine mist sprayer. Never pour streams of water. Streams of water displace the soil, expose the seeds, and create an impenetrable crust when it dries, a crust that a fragile cucumber sprout cannot break through. Temperature control is where 90% of gardeners fail. Watermelons and melons are children of the desert. They need explosive heat to germinate, not a chilly window frame. Until the shoots appear, the pots must be kept at a strict 25 to 28 degrees Celsius. Put them on a heat mat or near a radiator, but never on cold stone. If the soil drops below 18 degrees, the wet seeds will rot in less than 48 hours. Fungi love cold, wet environments. You are setting a banquet for pathogens. The moment you see the green loop of the sprout breaking the soil, everything changes. You must immediately drop the temperature to 18 degrees. If you keep them hot and dark after germination, they will stretch into useless weak threads in literally hours. This is why you need high-power LED grow lights suspended just inches above them. Stop watering from the top once they sprout. You are inviting stem rot. Water exclusively from the bottom by pouring water into the tray beneath the pots. Capillary action will draw the exact amount of moisture the roots need. The top layer of soil stays dry, which means fungal spores cannot survive. Black leg disease is eliminated. Never use cold tap water. Chlorine kills the beneficial bacteria in your soil mix. Water them only with settled water that is slightly warmer than room temperature. If you follow this brutal, exact method, your cucumber seedlings will have stems as thick as pencils in 3 weeks. They will be unkillable. Your watermelons and melons will develop a monstrous taproot system, ready to explode with growth the second they hit the garden bed. No transplant shock, no stunted growth. Stop making excuses for poor harvests. The life of the plant is decided in these first critical weeks. Do not sabotage them with throw out the chemicals, prepare the right soil, use the hot water shock, plant horizontally, control the temperature like a tyrant. Do this right now, and you will be drowning in buckets of sweet, dripping watermelons and crispy, flawless cucumbers this summer. You won't know what to do with the surplus. If you want the unvarnished truth about massive harvests and are tired of garden center lies, hit the subscribe button immediately. We do not tolerate weakness here. Grow it right or don't grow it at all.